Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Well, hey there, Siouxland. Seeing a very picturesque day out there with clear blue skies as we're taking a look from the North Star Community Credit Union with conditions that have been favorable really across most of the region. If you like summertime conditions, because that's what we've been having really across the region. Most of us in the 70s, and you can see that even some 80s have been reported, but they begin to cool down because I know West Point was earlier at 80, now they're at 78, but still 84 in Norfolk as we see warm weather across the region. I'll let you know if this is going to be sticking through the weekend or what we can expect with a bit of a front passing through. KCAU 9 News starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
And thanks for joining us on your Friday afternoon. I'm Tim Seaman. Opponents of a proposed CO2 pipeline plan for Northwest Iowa received good news today. One of 3 companies looking to build a pipeline is dropping its plan. The details in our top story this afternoon at 5. The announcement was posted on Navigator CO2 Ventures website. Its Heartland Greenway project dropped because of what the company called the unpredictable nature regarding regulations in South Dakota and Iowa. A company CEO Matt Vinning said he's thankful to the landowners and elected officials who supported that project along the way. Now, proposed plans had the pipeline crossing all 3 Siouxland states and carrying carbon dioxide taken from more than 20 ethanol and industrial plants in a total of 5 states, with that product eventually being deposited at a site in Illinois. The project was valued at $3.5 billion. Natural resource regulators in South Dakota also had denied Navigator's request for a permit there, while the permit process in Illinois also had been paused on 2 occasions. The company said it has already invested hundreds of millions of dollars in that project. And shortly after Navigator's announcement, another company proposing its own pipeline doubled down on future plans. In a statement, Summit Carbon Solutions said in part, quote, "We remain as committed to our project as the day we announced it," end of quote. The Summit pipeline has faced setbacks of its own, however, with the company announcing today that it's moved the operational start date to 2026 instead of next year. Summit also cited regulatory hurdles as a reason for backing the plan up. South Dakota's Public Utility Commission has denied the company's permit, and North Dakota regulators also have denied Summit's permit, but in North Dakota they have later reconsidered and will take a second look. The Iowa Utilities Board says that its hearings for Summit Carbon's pipeline will resume on November 6th. And we'll keep you updated on this story as more information becomes available. You'll find it all on air and on our website. That's SiouxlandProud.com. Well, efforts in the nation's capital to name a new Speaker of the House continue to hit a Siouxland congressman back in his home district. Dozens of people protested outside of Nebraska Representative Don Bacon's office after his second round vote, opposing nominee Jim Jordan of Ohio. Now, members of the hardline conservative group known as the Nebraska Freedom Coalition protested outside of Bacon's Omaha office. They were protesting his votes for Speaker of the House, which were against the GOP nominee, Jim Jordan. That group was calling for Bacon to flip his vote to Jordan.
I understand his first round vote as a protest, but the second round vote is indefensible.
Oh, we're going to hold off having a Congress in operation because Don Bacon wants to play politics.
In a statement sent to our ABC affiliate in Omaha, the Nebraska Young Republicans said that they are proud to stand with Bacon, saying, quote, "Don has been a strong voice and has consistently delivered for his constituents." Representative Bacon already voted against Jordan during the 3rd round of voting earlier today. And speaking of that, the Speaker fight is back to square one. GOP nominee Jim Jordan has now dropped out of the running. KCAU 9 Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt explains how it all happened and where things go from here.
Defeated Congressman Jim Jordan is no longer going for the gavel, leaving the House still speakerless.
We need to come together and figure out who our speaker is going to be.
In a 3rd round of voting on Friday morning, Congressman Jim Jordan lost support, sending Republicans into a closed-door meeting where they voted to drop him as their nominee.
The most popular Republican in the United States Congress was just knifed by a secret ballot in a private meeting in the basement of the Capitol. It's as swampy as swamp gets, and Jim Jordan deserved better than that.
Now Republicans go back to the drawing board.
I'm concerned about where we go from here,
as they desperately try to find someone who can win enough support in their bitterly divided caucus.
We're going to get it done. It's just going to take us a little bit longer.
Without a speaker, the House is frozen and lawmakers are frustrated.
I think this has become less of a political fight and more of a group therapy session. I think it's really messy, but they've got to work through it.
Democrats remain united behind Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Jeffries says Democrats are fed up with Republican indecision, with less than a month to fund the government and an urgent request for aid to Ukraine and Israel waiting for congressional approval.
If the House is not reopened, then it will stall unnecessarily and lives will be jeopardized.
He says the solution is clear.
There is only one way out. A bipartisan path forward.
Republicans are planning to reconvene Monday to discuss a new speaker candidate and a new path forward. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Troubled times in Washington, nothing but great weather here in Siouxland, that is for sure. Another great one outside with summer-like temperatures today, Victor.
That has been the case, Tim. We saw temperatures are about 20 degrees above the seasonal average, with our highs reaching up to 77. I don't know why Wayne hasn't updated, but we just saw that they were reporting at 79 out there. 84 was the high in Norfolk, and we can see that most of Siouxland has enjoyed some very warm conditions throughout the daytime. I feel like summer's last gasp in the middle of October, really, as we see that if you're thinking about heading outdoors, temperatures this evening are going to be dropping just a tad, but they'll be really after midnight, so we'll see conditions if you're heading to any of the football games tonight are going to be favorable with clear skies. Much different picture than what we were seeing last week when we had those rain showers and wet conditions that were quite chilly. It's going to be looking pretty good out there this weekend instead. Back to you, Tim.
Great night for games, no doubt about that. Authorities in Norfolk, Nebraska made a most unusual discovery last night. According to the Norfolk Police Division, officers responded to reports of a body found lodged in a chimney. It was removed, and early investigations show that the incident was the result of an accident. An autopsy is being performed to identify that person. Meanwhile, the Norfolk Police Division says that they will release more information once it becomes available. In honor of Dia de los Muertos, also known as the Day of Dead, the Sioux City Public Museum is celebrating with a new temporary exhibit. This year's theme is Proud to the Bone, which focuses on skulls and other common items left on altars during the two-day celebration. Teresa Weaver with the Sioux City Public Museum tells us that the holiday is a wonderful way to honor family members who have passed away.
It is really a sweet, touching time to celebrate people who have passed. And so each altar shows individual characteristics of that person that they're honoring, photographs, things that they loved in life.
The altars are on display beginning October 24th, running through November 4th. Sioux City Public Museum and students from Morningside University as well as Irving Elementary School helped create multiple exhibits for that celebration. A transportation organization here in Sioux City receiving a much-needed new facility today. Siouxland Regional Transit System and Siouxland Interstate Metropolitan Planning Council coming together to cut a ribbon on that new building. It's located within the Iowa DOT facility at the Highway 75 and 20 interchange. The transit system had been located downtown with no covered parking or maintenance garages for buses. The new space provides all of that, plus a bus driver training area and offices. The transportation manager says it is a big improvement.
Now we've got a facility where we get the buses inside. You can maintain them. They're not out in the weather. They're going to last longer. They're not going to cost as much. So just overall, it's a new efficiency for the transit system, as well as much better facility for all of the Simcoe operations.
That $10 million project has been underway for 4 years and was funded through a U.S. DOT grant program. In honor of the Korean War and its veterans in the tri-state area, Siouxland Freedom Park has completed a memorial for those who fought and those who never returned from the war.
1, 2, 3, cut! Yay!
19 life-size soldiers made from stainless steel are now posed as if they were walking out of the forest and into fields during the Korean War. A sign with a map of Korea labeling 7 battles that took place during the conflict also included there. The project cost roughly $300,000 and took around 4 years to complete. Park officials say that they hope to beautify the memorial next spring by adding foliage as well as trees.